fucking like the whole night just bidding on the shittest the shittest
the
property in
brown
the game.
building, the
Yeah,
brown
yeah, yeah.
street. It goes for like
Yes.
60 Monopoly. Someone's buying it for like
Brown
5,000.
No, I feel like there's gonna be like black market deals where like someone's secretly just gonna
Kind of
PayPal.
racist.
I
No,
love the
PayPal.
brown streets.
PayPal. No. I feel like there's gonna be the point where like one of us is gonna PayPal each other real money just
The
for
thing
the
is,
property.
Crimson. You know the browns and the light blue street, right?
Yeah,
I always went for those, and then I put all my shit on there.
exactly. Yeah.
It's the strategy. You should do that.
But
Yeah.
I figured
It's
out
easy
that is
win.
actually
strats.
not the best strat. The best strat, okay, is to get the red stuff. Oh my god, you get the
Yep.
red stuff, you make
Yep.
everyone broke.
Yep,
So
that is just pure
basically-
win because everyone comes out of jail and then lands on your sites and like,
Yeah.
yes,
Exactly.
you're just out
and
of
the thing
jail.
is-
Pay me rent.
The thing is, I bought no properties. I literally went for 3 reds. I put a hotel. I made everyone broke.
Oh no.
It was so easy. I play on the Wii, guys. Come over. We can play 4 players on my Wii.
Nice. Yeah, I will.
If we, wait, do we all have Wii's? Then we could just get
I have
for
a Wii.
the Formula
Yeah.
1 game on the Wii and just do a league on that.
F1
yeah,
2009 by
so-
Codemasters for the
Thing
Wii.
is,
Let's go.
you'll have to do Wi-Fi stuff. It's not easy to do.
Hmm.
So you can't go online. Stay there.
Okay. So can everybody mute themselves, please?
Do FIA have to?
No. You're fine as long as you don't talk.
Oh.
Irish definitely has to. In fact, I might server mute.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah, okay, that's a
Fuck
valid
you.
point.
Fuck you.
Okay, so tonight's meeting will be streamed, and then it will be available for people to watch later if they wish. So everybody, welcome, returning members and new members. Welcome to season 14. Hopefully we can make season 14 another successful season, just like season 13. Season 14 is the time we're going to be moving to F1 2021. Woo! So there's going to be yet again some big changes when it comes to the game. The rule set is going to remain relatively stable between season 13 and season 14. This may very well change into next season as we work out the little things, little annoying things about 2021. So if there is anything that does come up this season, we will try to make the best decision we can, obviously. But if there's anything that goes on in 2021 that we can't predict everything, so there's probably something that may come up that maybe we haven't written a rule about or it doesn't quite apply correctly. So we may have to adapt how we apply the rule a little bit to be as fair as possible. So please bear with your friendly neighborhood FIA. But anyway, let's kick into it. No, you. So the agenda for tonight then, we're going to look at how the FIA will look for season 14, the league format, a highlight of some of the rules and penalty updates. If you are a new member, please don't forget to read over the rule book. It is important to make sure you familiarize yourself with it. Say that 5 times fast, because that is important going into the next season. Season 14, then driver signups and calendar voting will then open right after the meeting here, and then we'll hold a Q&A afterwards for any questions you may have. Plus as well, just while we've got you all here, we'll run some open lobbies after the meeting as well. So if you want to do some racing, hang around and we'll get some open lobbies run. Okay, so let's take a look at how your FIA Season 14 team then. So this is how it is going to look for the coming season. Some of you may notice that Snacking Isle is a new member to the FIA. So please show him the respect that you would everyone else within the FIA, and welcome him to the team as well. So I would also like to say just thank you, Snacking, for everything you've been doing with us so far. So that's how we're going to look going forward. So next thing we're going to look at then is the league format. So, oh, okay. So season 14 then, we're going to change things up a little bit. The transition between 2020 and 2021 is going to be slightly different to how we did 18 to 20, if any of you were around for that. What we're going to do is we're going to run F1 2020 on the Friday. You can see they will run first, and then 21 after that. And then Saturday will be all 2020, Division 2 and Division 1. And then Sunday will be 2021. So if you're only playing one game, then yes, you will only have one race per week. This is to make it as easy and as smooth as possible we can for the transition. So this season will have 8 rounds, slightly down from previous seasons, but still, enough rounds to be able to, fairly fight for a championship. And it will play out over 8 weeks then, which is a slightly longer time than we normally would. So this is how we're going to look going forward into this season. Next then, let's have a look at the highlights for rulebook and penalty updates. So something we've changed for this season is how reserve drivers can drive in higher divisions. So you must have a clean license, i.e. no penalty points. You must have at least 6 races of experience in LCR, and FIA can decide if a driver may be reserve or may even be excluded. For maybe some reason we think they are unsafe for some reason, even if they don't have any penalty points yet. Or if a certain driver, even though they do have penalty points, they... Oh, sorry, nothing showing on YouTube. That's not good. Sorry, everyone. Give me 2 seconds. You'd think I would be able to actually do all this streaming stuff by now, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, you would think.
Ooh.
Anyway,
It's
right
alright.
there. Yep, there we'll go like that for now. So yeah, reserve drivers then must have a. Oh yes, that would also be useful too. Now wouldn't it? Now that I've switched screens. There we go. Can you see that? Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, super duper. Sorry to everyone on the YouTube stream, but the slides basically were saying exactly the same as what I was saying anyway. So reserve drivers then must have a clean license. They must have 6 races of experience minimum, and FIA can decide if a driver may be reserve. This is because there have been several instances where a reserve driver has had a serious impact on the way that the season plays out for those drivers that are involved. Towards in that division. Yeah, and what we don't want is, for example, a Division 3 driver coming in and deciding the Division 2 championship because they end up taking someone out. So we have to make sure that you're a nice clean driver and then you can be a reserve driver. Next point then, removing unfair penalties. So any penalty served in the pits is not removed. So this is a little bit of a tweak in the wording of the rules we made before. Where if you serve any penalty in the pits, if for some reason you think it's unfair and you think it should be removed, we cannot remove it. It is too much of an advantage to have a penalty that has already been served removed from your race time. So, if you do have a penalty that you think is unfair, maybe think about changing your strategy to try and finish without boxing. It's not always possible. Sometimes you get a penalty very early, and you might just have to end up, taking the L on it, unfortunately. but it is just too much of an advantage, so we won't be removing any penalties that have already been served. Only penalties that are still on the board and applied to your race time at the end of the race. So, say for example, a speeding in the pit lane penalty, it will only be removed if it's still there at the end of the race and hasn't been served in a pit stop.
What happens in the instance of like a desync at this race start and someone gets given a drive through for jump start?
A drive through, we can't remove that either because it's impossible to tell how much time you would have lost. So we generally don't remove them anyway.
Okay, so that's just going to be a case of tough shit, just suffer and move on.
Pretty much, unfortunately, yes.
Okay,
and that's
cool.
how we've dealt with it in the past, yeah. So next one then, safety car contact. So unfortunately, we still saw a lot of people making contact under safety car. And even though we introduced this extra penalty on top of the safety car penalties, it hasn't really reduced the occurrence of it. So now we'll also be giving a penalty point for the safety car contact. What that means is that if you make contact with someone under safety car and give them a 5-second penalty, that could bring you a little bit closer to a race disqualification then. Not just the time penalty, because this
You get pushed in or someone brake checks you.
there will be nuances with how we decide who is at fault. Obviously, if someone brake checks, then clearly brake checks, then it would be their fault. If you tap into the back of someone, well, you haven't left enough space. But in general, this is just going to cover the general aspect here. If you're deemed at fault for giving someone else a 5-second penalty, you will also be given a penalty point too, because this causes far too many headaches for us and it ruins people's races, similar to if you spin someone out. So that's the reason for that. Setup options. So all divisions are now going to go full setup. The main reason for this being that 2021, the presets are not great. So we're going to open up full setups for all divisions. That does not mean you must use a custom setup. You can still use the presets if you wish. But at least you can then go in and tweak them. And as well as that, what we're going to do is we're going to offer LCR approved setups that we'll upload to the workshop. They'll be generally quite stable setups. They might be a little bit slower as a result, because generally when you set the car up for optimum pace, it then generally becomes very hard on its tires and very hard to drive as well. But at least it will be, a good setup to start from. Oops, excuse me. So that's what we're going to offer going forward. So next point then, we introduced the carry penalty points from a previous season to help mitigate that, and also to help maybe prevent even more reports next season. I'm going to hold an Improve Your Racing Masterclass. If you do carry penalty points from the previous season and you attend the class, then we will remove 1 penalty point from your license. If you have a clean license, you're still free to attend. It is still very good information about how to avoid incidents, and how to race clean, and therefore how to really beat the opposition, because being consistent and avoiding incidents can actually gain you a lot of positions. So you are still free to attend, but it just won't remove any penalty points because obviously you've got none. So that's where we are with that. That's really it from a rulebook point of view. I know some of you may have some questions. We'll leave them just to the end so that I can finish off just these last little details. Next thing we're going to look at then is the Season 14 driver signups and calendar voting. You will see, a lot of you should be familiar already with the driver lineup, but if you're new around here, you should see this F1 2020-2021 league section. If you don't, give an FIA member a shout, and we'll make sure that you can get to be able to see this. Whenever the meeting is over and the racing is all done, so on and so forth, pop into driver lineup here, vote for which division you want to be in. If you are a new driver and you have less than 6 races with us, you'll be placed in Division 3. So, if you vote for Division 1 and don't get it, that will be why. So just bear that in mind if you're a new player. Everyone else has free choice of where they can apply to. You will not necessarily get it, but we will try to place you in the best division for you that we can. Okay.
Good
Um,
question.
I'll take
Matter of
questions
job.
at the end there, please. And then you'll also see just above driver lineup, you will see the calendar. Pop in there to vote for how you would like your calendar to look. You can vote for any number of tracks. You can vote for all of them, one of them, however many you like. And the top 4 voted tracks will go into next season. Then the FIA will choose 2, and there will be 2 randoms. Okay. Sign-ups and voting will then close on Friday the 6th. So we've got a few days, but the earlier you can get it done, the better. So that's pretty much it from me. Is there anyone that would like to ask any questions?
Sorry, I missed the very beginning of this. So is that an 8 race season we're doing now?
Correct, it is, yes, an 8 race season,
Okay,
yes.
cool. Thanks.
No problem.
Questions. LCR setups will be for both dry and wet, or just a single list?
Actually, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. We will have to make then a dry and wet setup unless we can find a setup that will work for both. But generally when it comes to making a setup for the wet, it's very small tweaks. So it might be the case that we can just make one setup and then you just tweak it for the wet. But
Okay.
That is a very
Thanks.
good question, actually.
Yeah,
and
good question.
Yeah,
I have
that
a
I'll take that in a
question.
note.
It's with
Yeah.
driver. The
Yep, go
driver
ahead.
lineup. Would it be preferred selecting only one, or can you select?
No,
like
you
two,
can
for
select
example?
multiple divisions if you want.
Okay.
A lot of drivers, for example, will apply for Division 1 and Division 2. That just
Okay.
lets us know then that they are happy in either division. So
Okay.
if you are happy with multiple divisions, then do let us know that.
Okay.
And we will try to
Will
put you in the
you-
best division.
Okay. This is let's say if you're in Div 2, for example, and are you able to be like a reserve driver in like lower division or higher division?
No,
or
you can
what's-
only be reserve division for a higher division, and you cannot race in a lower division.
Okay, seems reasonable.
I got a question.
Yep, go ahead.
Are the 2020 and 2021 championships separated?
Yes,
Are
they
they?
are. Yes, they will run as 2 separate seasons. They will still be named Season 14, but there will be a 2020 champion and there will be a 2021 champion.
I've
So
another question. Can you sign up for both 2020 and 2021, or
yes,
are
you
limited
can
to
sign up
one?
for both. That's why we're running
Okay.
the schedule as it is, so that any drivers, if they want to race twice a week, they can sign up for both games. That is no problem at all. There's no restrictions
Also,
on that. And
also,
you can
I was
sign up
gonna
for different divisions too if you think you want to be,
Okay.
say, for example, D1 in 2020 because you're used to it, and you only want to be D2 in 2021. That's perfectly fine as well. That's why we've separated out the two votes.
This is just me being dumb, but earlier I was gonna ask, is the fucking ACC race on today? Yeah, no, I just realized.
No, this is all
No,
just
I know.
yeah.
No, I know, but then I realized
No
I think
worries.
we changed the ACC league.
Yes.
Shit. Yeah.
Anyone
people
else
forget
have any questions? Feel free, by the way, to pop your questions in general. If you don't have a mic or don't want to speak, or message me privately. I have another one here.
Just make sure you message him and say, "Ooh, spicy one."
Yes, indeed, spicy one, exactly. I will
9.
not be accepting a question if you don't say spicy. So at Leco, divisions are still awarded for only numbers. I'm not quite sure what you mean there. Do you mean based on the points you scored in previous seasons? How many points?
Can I?
Yeah.
Can I just ask?
So the way that the divisions will line out will be, first of all, it's preference. For example, if Snatch wants to be Division 1, then he can be Division 1 because he's the champion, so he gets first choice, and that makes sense. And then me, I came P13. I want to be Division 1. I'll probably get it because that's the top 15, so that's likely. If you're in and around the top of D2 or the bottom of D1, then we might, either move you down to D2 or keep you in D1. It will just depend. But there are a lot of different factors we look at when it comes to moving up or down a division. And penalty points is a big one. If you want to get to D1, you gotta be clean. And then the likes of pace would come after that. Okay, it's still taken into consideration, but it would come after it. But Snatch is not allowed to choose Division 3. He's banned from Division 3, just so you know.
Just on the topic of going up and down division, like let's say if you were to start off in Div 3,
Yes.
like how would you progress up to Div 2? Would it be like if you
So
do well?
you
or
can
whatnot?
do mid-season. Well, we do mid-season promotions. There have been drivers that have jumped from Division 3 to Division 1, between seasons. But to be able to do that, you have to have a clean license. That's the main thing. Keep your license clean, and you can jump up divisions. That's my main point. Okay, pace comes into it less than penalty points. Obviously,
Okay.
if you're
But it does
finishing
help
20
if
laps
like 8
down,
seconds a lap faster than the D3 drivers.
yeah. Obviously, if there is someone that is 8 seconds a lap faster, then we'll probably scoot them up anyway. As I say, there is a little bit of a balance to it, but the main way, in general, to cover most cases, it'll be penalty points. Okay. Any other questions? Let me just check through general
how
here.
does one clear their penalty point? Like get rid of the penalty point and whatnot, or
So either by attending the masterclass I was talking about before the start of the new season, but in the middle of the season you cannot remove penalty points. They are
Okay.
permanent.
Wait, so what is the masterclass?
Have it-
I know you explained it briefly, but I'm still a bit confused on it. Is it just like kind of like the road safety shit you have?
Pretty much. So I'll tell you,
Sorry.
you're all bad boys for getting penalties.
So pretty
And
much.
this is how you
So-
avoid. This is how you drive like Maverick and not get penalties. Don't drive like Irish.
So essentially, what you're trying to say is the masterclass thing is essentially you calling us naughty boys and this is teaching.
Yes.
Yes, that is
So like
exactly
every
what
other
it
day.
is.
Yes, indeed. Exactly.
That is just,
Yeah,
that's
and then
fucked.
then Maverick will bring in another person because Maverick's not actually fast. So
Hey, yeah, I'll get someone else to explain the pace side of
Ouch.
things. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we have
So
an approximate date
that's
for the masterclass and the start of
No.
the season?
not yet. I will probably do that Wednesday the 11th, so it'll be just before the start of the season.
Wait, so how often are the
Oh, season
masterclass-
starts next week.
Just one. Yes, season starts next
How
week.
often?
Yes,
How often
One-
are these sessions where you
just
call
one.
us naughty boys? Oh, one every season.
one per season. Yep, and it's only to clear your penalty points before the start of the season.
Okay.
So I have a question here from Antboy. How many seasons will penalty points be carried for? So penalty points are only carried over if you get a black flag. If you don't get a black flag, you don't carry any penalty points. That's simple as that. If you get 3 penalty points in a season, you get 0 next season.
Okay. So
Okay.
the cap is
Snatch for D4, yeah, it's going to depend on numbers. We might end up with a D4 in 2021. If we end up with that, then the FIA
Sure,
and you guys stewards. If you can go D4, I don't know. I think you're D5, mate. I think
yeah,
you're
yeah,
you get to
D5
drive around the
driver.
car park. Yeah.
whatever you score with
But
Putting
yeah,
in D4 for me to watch me kill him in the first turn.
yeah, I think so.
Also,
Put
in
you two
terms of
in
penalty
same.
points,
No problem, man.
you know how
Boy.
you're,
Yeah.
in terms of penalty points, how you're saying, what is it, 3 penalty points is a cap? Does that mean, like, let's say if you hit that, do you get automatically demoted if you're in, let's say, the higher divisions?
Maybe it
or...
depends. It depends what
For-
you've done. If it's little silly
Mhm.
things, no, probably not. If you've ended up
Like,
killing, you know, the
yeah.
championship leaders, then we'll probably be
Yeah.
like, you're a dingus. You probably should go down a division. Okay.
If there is a serious incident, like, what would be the max highest penalty?
Sorry, just a second. Carlos, so if you touch someone 3 times in a row during safety car, then you'll get 3 penalty points. So, yeah, I wouldn't do that if I were you. Sorry, I'm trying to catch some of the other questions here, Irish.
Not grand.
No, at
Can
Leco two seasons ago, that DSQ will have dropped off. I did ping you if let me see, because your penalty points should be somewhere. Where is penalty channel? Wow, I get freaking
It's
lost.
under Div 3 reports.
Yeah, but
there we go.
unfortunately, you're clean at Leco, so your penalty points have dropped off.
Just curious. Just curious for like all the previous seasons. Has there ever been race bans?
Yes, we have had race bans previously. Yes.
What kind of incidents were they?
Very serious ones.
Mur-
Yeah, pretty much murder. Anyone else have any
so-
questions before Irish takes up
Yes,
all of our time?
yes.
Go ahead.
I have to go actually now.
God damn it.
Another Irish.
Yeah, no.
No,
Matt,
uh,
I gotta go. Nice
yeah,
chatting
bye.
anyways.
so
That's it.
where was it that you could choose your division? Because I
Yeah, so if you pop in fact, you know what? I'll do the ping now so that you can see it.
oh
But
yeah,
it
because
is-
I can't see it.
Yeah, no problem
at
at
the
all.
moment.
Or
Sure.
have I been a complete noob and haven't opened it up yet? Hold on. Oh,
You've just not done a ping before.
I think it is open.
No, it's the first thing I see now. Yeah,
Yeah, you can see it now. Excellent.
Yeah, you just have
Superb.
to get the-
So yeah,
I can see. Now the thing is, I can only see the ping, but everything above not.
oh, do you have the rules? That's the question.
Oh, maybe.
You do have the rule, yeah. So you should be able to see that. Let me sort that out for you. Oh, hold on. Let me sort that out for you after here.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
All
So
good.
because we've got time to sign you up anyway, so that's no problem.
Yeah, fair
Alrighty.
enough. Okay, thank you.
No problem. Any other questions, anyone?
How did you get to be so sexy?
Oh well, now if I told you that, I would
Oh.
probably have to kill you. So okay, if there is.
There is one question from Moss, I guess.
Yep, go ahead.
Suggestions.
Let me see suggestions. Yeah, that's it. So what we're gonna do is we're going to create community guidelines, which will be separate from the rulebook. It'll be how behavior on the Discord, should be conducted. So essentially, we'll have the rulebook for on-track rules, and then we'll have the community rules for how we should communicate on the server. Obviously, any kind of toxic behavior and abuse is not going to be tolerated here, and it'll outline things like banned words, and all that kind of stuff. And
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be more,
good.
yeah, it'll be more generic, and it's going to be very important as you say, as we get bigger, it is going to be very, very important.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the problem is that in the 2020, all those channels, they're all set up for 2020 drivers, not 2021 drivers. So rebellious. That is just a little bit of an error on our part. Give us a little bit of time, and you'll be able to see those and see those posts.
Yeah, okay, fair enough, mate.
Cool beans. No
All
worries.
good.
Alrighty. All right. Any other questions, anyone?
Yeah, if there are no more
What
questions.
was
Yeah,
that voice crack?
Oh yeah, I know. And I've been talking
Full
too
Clan,
long.
Quality.
Full Clan
Been,
Racing
give,
2
been
League.
giving you my sexy voice for too long. Yeah,
How
if,
did you
How
connect
if
to
you
my
wanna
voice?
do if you wanna do some races
open
now,
lobbies, yeah.
Dakota, are you happy running a lobby?
I could have to
I-
close my automobilist. I
If only if you want to,
mean,
or
I will be there, but I don't know if the game launched yet.
okay, cool. All right, no problem. So we'll probably need if you are a new member, Dakota then and then some other members as well will pop their Steam code into general, and yeah, I'll hang around a little bit. I'd let go. Official LCR Hill Climb Racing 2 League. Sorry, I would just kick all your asses. So sorry about that.
I'm do the Throne Maverick.
Bring it.
So, yeah, thanks very much, everyone. Let's make this another really good LCR season. Welcome, everyone. Let's have some fun.
Yes.
Hey, boys.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers.
See you.